Hey, ladies and gents, it's Wiz here with a review of the Mythic Legion's Arethyr. You got a sneak peek of him when I reviewed his steed Aethon, but here he is in all his glory, the big bad himself, Arethyr, from, of course, the Legion of Arethyr. Now, here is his bio. It says, a fiery manifestation of war itself, Arethyr is a hellish storm of fury and violence. Atop his smoldering steed Aethon, he charges into battle brandishing the Aether Blade, a mystical weapon that bore a key role in his return and once again burns furiously in its master's hands. With the Aether Blade's power to dematerialize the living and draw their souls to a dark plane, Arethyr is poised to reunite his malevolent siblings and lay waste to Mythos once and for all. Arethyr. Yeah. And I'm approaching him with fear and trembling. So if that bio was shaking a little bit, that's why. Here he is. There's a lot going on here. Let's take a look at what we've got. This guy's been a long time coming. I mean, I remember previewing his prototype. I think it might have been 2 years ago at Four Horsemen Studios. And here he is. He absolutely does not disappoint. The most metal action figure ever is, I think, the best way to describe this guy. All these really, really cool touches. Yeah, like he just stepped right out of a 70s heavy metal album cover. Now, some of his armor and some of these things might not make a lot of sense, but hey, he's Arethyr. He's a god. Who's going to question a guy whose head is on fire, right? Not only is his head on fire, his Aether Blade is on fire, and he's ready to not only extinguish your soul, but draw it into a dark plane. So, let's break this guy down a little bit. This is the Aether Blade. Really, really nice translucent flame. And it's two-colored. You got the yellow, and then you have the orange. So it really looks like it's alive, and the flames are licking up off the Aether Blade. We've gotten the Aether Blade before, but we've never gotten this particular flaming attachment to it, which, comes off. But who would want to take that off? It's so dang cool, right? The other things that really, really stand out about this guy are his pauldrons with these giant horns just jutting out. You can imagine this guy poking people in the eye right and left, getting stuck in doorways. But who the hell cares? When you're this big and you're this bad, you can basically get away with whatever you want. And these guys, okay, I don't know if you could see the detail there on these exquisitely detailed and sculpted pauldrons. To me, they remind me of the Devil Dogs from Ghostbusters, which is one of my favorite character designs, period. And then the other thing that stands out is this guy has a kick butt belt buckle, man. It's, like a devil with spikes coming out of his face, horns coming out of his head. His eyes really, really pop. And then he's got these two rivets on his head, and he just kicks some serious butt. So I'd like to see somebody make a full-size belt buckle for the Cabal. The Cabal is the Facebook group, the official Four Horsemen Facebook group where all the fans hang out. If you're not hanging out there, hey, get over there and become a part of it. I know a lot of people that join Facebook just so they could be a part of the Cabal. But that would make a really, really cool belt buckle. I could see Walter the Mad wearing that. So that belt buckle, these pauldrons obviously are brand new. The head is a whole new sculpt, and they've been keeping it in suspense for a while now. I have to admit that when I was back in Four Horsemen Studios, I snuck a peek at his face, right? I mean, who wouldn't? Because I knew it wasn't going to be, coming down the pike for a year or two. And then we had pandemic. And so I had to see what was back there. And let me show you. I personally think that he's even scarier once you take this visor off. Because look at those crazy bulging eyes with just yellow eyes, no pupils. He's got 4, count them, 4 nostrils. How cool is that? I've never seen anybody with that many nostrils. And then he's got these sharp teeth with a nice wash and just this crazy, crazy grin. The big ears, obviously, swooping out, and then gauges in them. And, you know, gauges are usually over the top for almost anybody that wears them. But, hey, not this guy. So you can see the ear motif here, you know, off the pauldrons, and then it sort of matches with that, you know, his magnificent ears. I don't know, you know, what his origins are as far as like whether he's part goblin or, you know, god of the goblins or whatever. But here, let's swoop in here and take a look at that face that only a mother could love. And obviously his hair, I don't know if it's hair or it's just flames shooting out of his head. He's a hothead, but that's translucent, catches the light really well. The horns are awesome. So he's got, you know, spikes on top of his head, spikes on his pauldrons, and then he's got these really, really cool, you know, dragon wings. These really, really cool, red, yellow, and orange wings with some articulation. Now, I'm not going to move them around too much, and I think you'll find ultimately that when you put him in your display, whether he's riding Aether or if he's just standing there, you're probably going to need some kind of stand, because the wings, yeah, they do help him stand, but they're also very, very heavy, and I could see over time him falling over or drooping because of just all the stuff that he has on him. So I'm going to try to figure out what the best way is for me to show him here. He's got these 2 chest straps going across his magnificent bare chest. I really love the two-tone, the shading on the muscles, and you know, the airbrushing, and the fact that he's a little yellow-bellied. You know, he's red all over, but he's got yellow on his inner thighs, on his belly, and it just made him really pop. And he's got these touches of yellow like on his ears, so it seems like, you know, the fire is sort of reflecting off of his ears. And this, the whole thing, this is the way it's done. Look at the detail on these wings. Just, they're really leathery, right? All these cracks and fissures and veins, and then, you know, areas of where they've been worn through. So it's a magnificent, magnificent sculpt. And the wings, you know, go in and out. Like I said, because he's got the pauldrons and because he's got the straps and he's got all this stuff going on, you're gonna really need to get a figure stand for this guy. Because look, all right, let me slowly turn this guy around so you can see what's going on. Because I know that if I just grab him and start fiddling with him, that he's not gonna fall over right now, but I could see the wings popping off. I think the wing adapter that I have, it isn't really that snug, so it has a tendency to pop off. But look, there you can see like those demon dogs from Ghostbusters. I'm hoping to see somebody take those pauldrons and either make him a mask for some kind of a steed or a war animal or something, or just make that creature. I want that creature, right? I want that, because they're even cooler than the horns on the Ghostbuster guys, because the horns on the Ghostbuster guys are small. See, but there you can see the paint on the eyes, the ears, right? How the pauldrons look from the back. This is awesome. This looks like leather, 100%. And then you can see all that sort of subtle shading and wash on the wings in the back, and then the points of articulation, right here and there, to make the wings flap this way and sort of swivel in and out. But like I'm saying, it's only stuck on there with the wing adapter. And I'm going to probably find one that's a little snugger. And then if I decide that I'm going to display him with the wings on the horse, right, then I might glue that adapter in there just to make sure that they stay. But, you know, the fun thing about this is that it's all about the options that you have, right? And so that's why I would hesitate to, you know, to super glue those wings on. But just something to be cognizant of when you have straps, you have pauldrons, and a wing adapter, right? Sometimes the wings will pop out. If you decide that you don't want, if you want to take the pauldrons out and you want to stick the wings directly into the pauldron holes, then they'll stay in a little easier than they will with the adapter. But if you do that, then you don't get the pauldrons. And the pauldrons are like one of the coolest parts of this figure. So there you go. I gave you the 360. I mean, what else can you really say about this guy other than, you know, he is the god and the very embodiment of war, and he rides on his magnificent fiery steed, right? I'm going to try to put him on his horse right now with the wings on and all that kind of stuff, and see if I can get, I think I'm going to keep the visor off. I just love that, like, crazy Joker-like expression on his face. Just looks totally deranged, totally insane. So, there he is. I mean, can you imagine? I'm thinking Aether is a flying horse, or he can fly magically somehow. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some wires. Well, see, I don't want him to fall off. There he goes. There he goes. I'm going to take some wires and I'm going to hook him up. So there you go. The wings fell off just like I told you they would. Anyway, I'm gonna take and make sure that wing adapter is in there snugly so that they don't fall out. But my little cousin was looking at this and he was like, why does he have wings and ride a horse at the same time? He should just go ahead and choose one mode of transportation. And all I can say is, because he's badass, right? Because he looks magnificent doing it. Look at that. Well worth the wait. And this is, you know, going to be a centerpiece of my collection and a lot of people's collections. We've gotten other gods. We've got an Aether, and he was super cool. And we've gotten, I forget, the deer god, the one who's like a deer. I can't remember her name, but there's nothing better than a super duper cool, super evil guy, right? Riding into battle. And so this guy is tops, must get, number one figure in my collection. And he just adds a whole nother level of badassery. The wings themselves, whether you pose them with the wings or not, are going to be, I think, a pretty popular item, because I think they make everything better. I've been lusting after these wings. I want to put them on Israel Ramirez. You know, I even got the dragon from Shang-Chi, and I was like, oh man, what if I had a pair of wings? Look how much cooler that would be. So I think these wings are going to be popular items for customizers, because, you know, they're just super cool. Anyway, that's it for the review of Arethyr. Hope you enjoyed that. And, you know, I whatever you can do to pick this guy up. He comes in a 2-pack, and I think those are going to be for sale, but in limited items. The 2-pack is the horse and Arethyr together. I think those might still be available, or you can get them separately. It's the same figure and everything, but I think a lot of people love the box art so much that they really, really want to get that, and want to keep in box and want to have on display. So make sure you grab one, because once these are gone, I can see the third-party sellers just going nuts. Is the Wiz signing out.